Hey folks, coming at you a little late today considering what time I usually come on. It's Friday, the 15th of March. Cheers. Time to clean my coffee pot. I want to first start off by saying thank you. I decided to wait to go to the post office and to the record store before making a video. I took those records back I showed yesterday so I can show you what I got instead. I was hoping that I'd get something, and I did, but no new releases. There were no new releases of interest to me. Omaha is very conservative, and there are new releases that never come here, like the new Laurel Halo. I hear she's got a new album. That's not coming here. The Virgin Prunes, New Form of Beauty. I've got most of those, but the 3 LP, I had to order that today. I'd like to get that. You folks honor me. Thank you so much. I just came back from the post office and sent off CDs to folks here and folks in France and Australia. Thank you, folks. That means a lot to me because you have to pay that exorbitant, ridiculous postage, and there's nothing I can do about it. So thank you for purchasing the music, supporting my channel. Thank you for the kind comments that that were left with the purchases. Thank you. I want to point out that I got a good review in the comments. If you folks don't read the comments, it's probably as much fun as watching the videos. But someone said Interlude is great. Strong album all the way through. Kept me on my toes, which is one of the most important things for me. Pointed out Lined Up, Matter Has, and Tracing as standouts for him. Fantastic. He was suggesting or asking, let me continue because I appreciate the feedback. He also says, I understand your comment saying this is the natural extension of Future Still. When I heard Reflection, I immediately thought of OK. Perhaps that is OK's Reflection. Actually, no. Reflection was written before OK. Actually. And then he likes Woven Territories. Regardless, this last year has been fantastic. Woven Territories is still the front runner for Album of the Year for me. Thank you. So I signed that for him. And I'll leave the link, folks, please. I make good music. I do. So I had a nice visit with the folks down at Homer's. I used to work there on 2 different occasions. And so I'm like an alumnus as well as a local musician. So the 2 main guys that own and run Homer's, Mike Fratt and Mark Manor, were there today. And Mike, being the main manager, was having a frustrating morning. They deal with a lot of homeless and straight people down there. And sometimes homeless people have problems and it'll end up being the store's problem because they're there. And this was one of those kind of mornings. And Mike is so gracious. He treats people with dignity. Always. He has some deep patience. And then Mark, like I thought, he was embarrassed about the records that I bought the other day. Said he had already put in an order for me for a new copy of Kim Gordon because I do want it. But I went ahead. There was nothing new in the racks that I wanted. There's a lot of new records that I wouldn't mind getting that they don't, like I said, don't get in Omaha. So I went to the sale bin to see what was left over that I had not. And there's 2 records. I knew they were there. Resonance, Warning, Unincorporated. I waited because when this first came out on Record Store Day, it was $50, $49.98, and I was saying no. I collect the Resonance, but no, I don't want to pay that. So they marked it down to $30, and then with my discount, I would have to look at the receipt to see how much more I got off. But so I got this live and experimental recordings, 1971, 1972. So I need to, as I was even talking in the store with Mark and another employee, it's not so much that I listen to the residents that much these days, but I collect them. And they're an important part of my musical history. I've seen them live 3 times, traveled to see them. It was worth it. Very unusual, unique presentations. So I grabbed this. The other record that I bought, I only got 2. This was marked down because, again, not marked down very much, but they marked it down. Vijay Iyer with Linda May, Han O, and Tyshawn Sorey, Uneasy, on ECM. So I already know what I'm getting here. But like I said, I wanted to wait to get this. It's a double album. And I just didn't, prices are crazy. I watched that recent video by Mike at the In Group where he talks about the collectability of records and prices and his perspective. I see his perspective, but it's also frustrating to me as a collector because I don't care about the value as far as resale. I'm seriously hoping that everything stays intact here, and when I'm gone, my family, whoever's here, can get this, and they can get the money out of this. I don't care. So I see what he's saying about records having value and being like art pieces, but it's also frustrating because things are getting so expensive. So it's Friday. Do I have any plans to go out? No, I have gone out for the day. I went to the post office. I went to the record store. I don't need to go to the store. Thankfully, got a nice pot of soup that I've been working on. The second day is always the best. Do I actually make soup from scratch? Sometimes, but I didn't this time. I just added some extras to a can of soup to make it. I know how to cook. You can cook like a hobo, which is you take whatever's left and you figure out how to put it together, and sometimes you come up with some amazing stuff. Okay, some more records that are sitting out. Susie and the Banshees. Through the Looking Glass. These are covers. I love the way they do Hall of Mirrors, the Kraftwerk song. I like their version better than Kraftwerk. I also like Wheels on Fire. It's a Bob Dylan song, but I love the story. Susie thought it was a Julie Driscoll song. I like that version also. Julie Driscoll's version of this Wheels on Fire from the 60s. That's where she first heard it, and it's a very cool version. Their version is really cool too. Both versions are better than Bob Dylan's. Got into some Can yesterday. Damo's not on this one, but this is fantastic. Can Delay, 1968. This is back when Malcolm Mooney was still in the band. They were hypnotic from the word go. What an amazing, groundbreaking band. This is the reissue on pink vinyl. I do have an original on celluloid when it first came out. Played this all the way through. Very hypnotic. And I noticed some things in the mix that I hadn't before. Some background. And they talk about this. I have the Can book. Inner Space, I think is the name of it. And they talk about some of the people who were in the background of the beginnings of Can. Duncan, I think is the guy's name. And you hear these people making noises and chanting, etc. in the background. I had never really noticed that before. Really, really good. And the other one I played, this is an original. Got this as soon as it came out. Soon Over Babaluma. This is right after Damo left Can. And so it's the other members. Michael Caroli mainly sings on this. This still has the magic. This still has the can magic. It does. This is good. I love that silvery cover. Soon over Babaluma. What else is sitting out? This is sitting out. This is from the Milk. What kind of interesting label? Orange Milk label. And this is, it's a hard, Maya Me Diamond Soul. This is, I enjoy it, but it's also, I can tell what they're doing. This is where people have electronics, they have the equipment to sample and to quickly, spin through different settings and sounds. And I dare say that I bet a lot of this was just random. They just recorded it. So, excuse me, some of it is interesting. There's a couple where it's like, oh, that wasn't very good. Hard to describe though. Like I said, it's like, but I like stuff like this, in measured doses. I like that cover too. The other thing that's on my mind to share because I like to be spontaneous. Unfortunately, I am thinking about mortality, death, not in a morbid way, but just a realistic way. When my brother Patrick passed away it's been going on 3 years now, right? Right after COVID. I think he was in 2021 we lost him. Well, one of his best friends was another fellow named Pat Bullock. Some of you folks may have noticed him over, if you read the comments, you would notice his comments sometimes because he would talk to me in the comments here, and then I would tell him, Pat, call me. Don't be talking about that stuff here. That's between you and me. Well, I've been trying to get a hold of Pat for a couple months now, and can't get a hold of him. There's no obituary anywhere. But he was all alone. I mean, he had no family. He was disowned from his family. His ex-wife was trying to get his money. And I didn't know where he lived. He lived in a high rise, so I don't know. So it's been on my mind, that my instinct tells me he's gone, and that makes me sad. I have an unfinished piece of music that was inspired by him. Harmonia. Music von Harmonia. This is fantastic. This is the German cosmic ambient at its best. I have it on vinyl, but I was playing the CD. It's just fantastic. Library music. Library music. I have this album. This was a blind pull. I did a blind pull from the kitchen. The kitchen is an interesting area of the collection. Library music, classical music, box sets are in the kitchen. So this I just grabbed out of the library music section without looking and got a good one. Sound Waves Part 2, put together by some guy named Jay Saunders. This is electronic. And the titles are very descriptive. Launch Control, Black Star, Space Travel, Nova, Time Travel. Very fitting too. Very descriptive. Neat little vignettes of music. I love stuff like this. And I hadn't played any for a long time. And it was time. I needed some Durutti column. Vinnie Riley. Special musician. Guitar and other machines. The guitar. The man lives a life of poor health. He looks like a skeleton all the time. But when he plays the guitar, you immediately know it's him. It's in his fingers. It's in the way he touches the guitar. It's a beautiful tone. Beautiful ringing type of tone. This is a great album. That's what I have for you, folks. I want to again thank you folks who bought music, and I'd like to encourage more. It makes a difference. It helps me keep going. Thank you for your kind words too. It's the least that we can do, folks. I was talking to the ladies down at the post office this morning. I'm very friendly with everyone down there, so we chit chat. And one lady was talking about how she just completely avoids the news, won't watch. I said, I understand, but there's stuff going on that if you don't know about it, could bite you in the ass. And she said, oh, I know. So we'll see what kind of madness the world brings today. Have a good one, folks. If I don't come on this weekend, have a good weekend. The other thing I notice is that it doesn't seem like there's more. I'm getting more chatter in the music groups on Facebook, which I don't particularly mind. I post and I don't make a lot of comments, but I've noticed, I don't know if it's because of it, but it seems like since I posted my recent interviews with Steve Hackett, Michelle Highway, Chester Thompson, Martin Barr, that there's an increase in interaction with me on my posts. I like that, actually. The person that contacts me through email, like the latest one about 311, if you listen closely, the only thing about 311 is the fact that they're from Omaha and they were inspired by me. I like them as people, but I'm not a fan of 311's music, actually. So leave me alone in the email, okay? I mean, if you're going to buy something, that's something, but I'm not going to start conversations with you in my emails. I'm not. And please don't get pissed off because you don't understand how often this is happening. And it's like, I'm not going to start a pen pal with people. This is my main outlet for interaction with you. You want to talk to me? Talk to me in the comments on the email. Please leave that for business. Buy music. Nice and simple. Okay. Let me shut up. Take care.